What's up, guys? Welcome to my stream. This is this week's stream as in unscheduled one because I didn't schedule any streams for this week. Although I decided to do one because it's weekend and it's Sunday. So I decided to do maybe 1 hour, 2 hour stream.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Just to give you some updates, but also talk about some topics and play the game Forza Horizon 2. Finish couple of championships
Turn left.
and be that much closer to finishing the game, pretty much, or I should say all the championships available in the game. Right, so let's go into the updates first.
In 400 meters, turn left.
I have, as I said in my previous stream probably, I have created all the locations for the second
Turn left.
chapter of the game. Now, what I have to do now to release the demo version, what I have to do now is pretty much a intro movie, introduction movie, which will play at the beginning of the game. So it's kind of an introduction to the game, and I have to do that first.
In 400 meters, turn.
So that will be that has to be done first. Then I will have to add those name tags to the dialogues, and then correct and proofread anything that's wrong with the dialogues. Obviously, check any quests and test the game. Although I did test it many times, test it again how the leveling goes and stuff like this, so that it's not too difficult and it is possible to pass the first chapter, let's say, without grinding too much, because I don't want people to grind in this game too much, although the game will be hard because it won't be very easy. Like for example in Pokemon, you can just spend a lot of time grinding and you can pass the game however you like. So basically in the games that are 2D or 3D, sort of on DS, 3DS for example, they're sort of 3D. If you buy an RPG game, whether it's a Pokemon game or a different game like Final Fantasy, you pretty much have to grind in those games, and that's not what I want to do in my game. I don't want you to grind and look for monsters and just kill them all the time, because that's pointless. It's just annoying and it's boring. So I don't want to do that. That's why I'm providing all the quests and stuff like that, so that you can level up and be able to continue with the story. Obviously, you will have to find those quests and decide whenever you want to do them or not. But those will be available for you, so you won't have to grind, and then you will be able to just level up and be able to pass the first and second and so on chapters with the quests only. Obviously, there will be some grinding or some monster killing and stuff like this. Quests will require that for you, for example. Or simply, moving from one place to another, you encounter monsters, so you will have to fight them. It's just that you won't have to do it deliberately most of the time to be able to fight the opponents on higher levels, because you will be able to level up with quests, obviously, if you do them. So that's my plan for the first chapter and in overall the game. And I want to do so as little grinding as you can get, so that you don't get bored with the game. And believe me, I did play loads of games, RPG games, which relied heavily on grinding, and that's just boring. It just takes away the experience of the storyline. Instead of doing the storyline, you just grind all the time, which is boring in one way, but also time wasting in another. You could be doing a storyline, but then you have to grind. So that's not what I want to do in my game. Now the other thing is this movie, the starting introduction movie, let's call it. It will take probably some time because I have to think of a way, not a way, but the way the movie will be played, or like this maybe. not as in technical issues or something like that, but just the way I create the movie. So obviously it won't be a movie such as you watch on
Turn right.
YouTube or something like that, or anything of this sort. It will be basic, just from the game stuff, but created into a scene basically at the beginning. That will give you introduction story to the game and also why you're there and stuff like that. So that will be that. And create really a picture of some sort, so that explains really a controls of the game. That has to be done as well at the beginning for the demo version, because not everyone will be able to know what type of keys to use to operate the character and stuff like that. So that I have to do before I release the demo version. But the demo version should be available for you guys before the end of this year. So that will be the first chapter only. And if you want to know, I plan to do about 5 chapters in this game. So I'm currently on 2nd chapter, and as I said, this game will be very long. It won't be a 2 or 3 hours game. Because the 2nd chapter, up to the point I have it, is already, the game is already 2-3 hours long. So it won't be a very short game. This game will have at least, I don't know, 20 hours of gameplay. That's at least, and that depends on how good you are at finding stuff and progressing with the story.
Choose a race and we'll get started.
So all of that depends on whether you're good enough to progress with the story fast. But if, as I said, if you cannot find stuff and so on, and you don't know where to go sometimes, or you cannot do something, then it will be 30 hours easily. So that will be a long game. And to create a 30 hours long game or something like that,
You have arrived at
you do have to spend 10 times, not even loads more than 10 times. Actually, a lot more than 10 times. Not even not, I don't know, maybe even more than 100 times the time you will play the game. So that's how much time I need to spend on this game to be able to create 20-30 hours of gameplay. So it's a shitload of time to spend on the game just for people to play 20 hours or something like that. Because it's exponential basically. The more hours you can play the game, the more stuff I have to put, and the more stuff I have to, the more time I have to put into it. Because the further you go in the game, the less time you can get out of it. Because, for example, let's say you have a couple of classes and each class has a different storyline. Then what it means that I have to design and create all the quests and all the stuff for those classes, but you will choose only one. So for example, let's say you choose a sort of like a warrior class, but then there is loads of other classes, and I will have to create stuff for those classes as well. So you choose one, which is like, let's say 1/10 of what I created. So as you can see, you basically choose one thing, which is 1/10, but I still have to create the 10 of it. So 9/10 I still have to create for other people to choose if they wish to. And that's the thing, and that's why it takes so much time. Because if I were to create a linear RPG, then that wouldn't be a problem. I would probably finish already, because I would have to give you just one choice. You have one choice basically, or maybe sometimes 2 choices, just to do something or not. But there will be a certain class which you cannot change, for example. So that's a lot easier already, because I don't have to design stuff for other classes. I just give you one class and that's it. But obviously that kind of RPG game is boring, right? It's not very interesting if you don't have much choice in the game. You just play whatever I wrote in the game. You just have to experience it, which is in some ways in some ways the game it's still enjoyable. I mean, loads of games are like that. They're linear, but they're still enjoyable. For example, Gothic, it's a very old game. It's a linear game. You can still choose classes in there, because you can choose 3 fractions. And in the later games, you can choose even more than 3, because there are sub fractions and so on. But what I'm talking about is that the game is pretty much linear. So you have to do this, and you have to do that, you have to go there, and so on. Well, the world is open, you can move there anytime, but the quests you have to finish in certain order. So you have to do this one first, you have to do that one first, and so on. And that's why, you know, it's... although it's interesting, I like the game. I played it 20 times, even more. Because it's one of my favorite games. It's just that it's linear. Although the story is good. Because they have very good storyline, and they have... It's a classical game, so... you had to play it, I don't know, 10 years ago. But it had this something, and, you know, although it was linear, it was still very good. But as I said, you can design... well, in my game, you won't be able to design your character. I could do that. I'm just not gonna do it, because you will have a set character, which is a part of the storyline. That's why this character will be there. Because if you create any character, that will be a bit pointless as well. And annoying, because I would have to give you... wait a minute. I would have to give you a choice of avatars, and that's just... it's not gonna happen. I mean, the name, choosing a name, that's the least of my problems. That was least of my problems, because that you can do that. It's just that the rest of the thing, you'd have to do a shitload of stuff to be able to choose the character and so on. So design it yourself. And I won't do that because it's just pointless. I mean, you can play with the character I provide. It's not that really important. What's important is the content, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm on the process of doing all this stuff, obviously. So I'm in the process of doing all this stuff, and when I finish, I will pretty much release the demo version. You'll be able to play it, and it's for free, obviously. And check out the game, tell me how you like it, or how you don't like it, give me some feedback if you want, but basically check out the game, and know what you will get in the future, basically. Because the game, as I said, the first chapter is not the best chapter, because the second, the third, and the fourth, I believe. Second, for some people, maybe. Because some people may be interested in loads of classes, so that may be interesting to some. But those, I mean, third, second probably, and fourth chapters will be the most interesting. Because there will be loads of mysteries, loads of quests, loads of turns of events and stuff like that. It will be the most interesting, chapters, and that's why they will take a long time to finish them. That's why I'm taking so long to finish the second chapter, because there's just loads of stuff I have to do. And the classes alone, I have to create loads of quests, because obviously if you choose one class, you cannot do quests from the other class. There will be some connections to one or the other class, and there might be some shit. And there might be some similar quests, or basically the people will give you, from the other class, they will give you another quest, because you are like a friend class of another. Let's say a paladin is kind of a warrior that uses light magic. That's what RPG games define as a paladin. This car is shit. And let's say he can use magic, right? But at the same time, there are mages in the game, so yeah, it doesn't turn whatsoever. It's just slow. I don't like the B-class cars, especially this one. And I'm not really concentrating on the game. But anyway, yeah, so you have similarities because both use magic. So there probably can be one or two quests that, you know, the same person will give out. Although the quests will be different, it's just that they will be about magic, for example. And the same person will be giving them out. Something like that. Or the same, I don't know, in the same building you'll have quests for both. So that's what I'm pretty much talking about. It's a pain in the ass to do this because it takes so much time. But otherwise, yeah, I think it will be interesting. Obviously not to everyone, but I hope the game will get good feedback.
Great driving, mate. And another win, too. Well done.
And that's pretty much that, you know, there's not much else I can update you guys on about my game. Because, as I said, it just pretty much continues building it up. So I'm just doing second chapter all the time. And as I said, it takes time. It's just the sheer amount of stuff I have to do is just mind-boggling. And that's why it takes so much time. Because if I had like 4 or 5 people working on it, it'll be much faster. Because, for example, one takes a break, 4 other works. Still, the game is worked on all the time, for example. And in my case it isn't, because I cannot just work every day on it. I mean, I pretty much try to work almost every day on it, but sometimes I do need a break. Which I do. Sometimes I'm too tired to just work on it. And that's why, you know, those type of projects, they take time. As I said, there's my friend told me about a guy who was creating a game for 10 years. And it's not even funny, you know, because if I were to create the game how I liked it, then it would be out of date already, because it would take me about 10 years to do it. Because I would create a game that is truly, that has millions of choices and hundreds of endings. And all dependent on your choices. The game would wait a lot. More than a gigabyte, maybe even a couple of gigabytes. And for that type of game, I'm telling you, that's a lot. That's shitloads. Because it is 2D game, so imagine 2D game that is, you know, waiting over 2 or 3 gigabytes. That's just a lot. Because even if you exclude the library, which waits about 300. Then the game alone would wait over 2 gigabytes or something like that, right? So that's a lot. It will wait a lot as well, because as I said, I'm on second chapter and it waits already with the library. It waits, I don't know, 700 megabytes with the library. Obviously, if you have the library, you don't have to download the game with the library, but but as I said, you know, it's 700 with a library, so 700 megabytes already, and I didn't finish the second chapter yet. And the third and the fourth chapters will have the most content. So that's why, you know, it's I don't think I will finish it next year, because it just takes so much time. Especially if I want to add stuff like, I don't know, special graphics and so on, as in posters and stuff. But yeah, I'll be doing some promotional stuff of the game in next year. So for those of you who would like to help me out, I'll be grateful. Not with the storyline, but with the graphics. I mean, I do have Photoshop, but I'm not that great with Photoshop. So I'm not able to create 3D characters in Photoshop. I mean, that doesn't have to be professional, but, you know, just the sheer amount of work I have to... I was in the college, I believe it was. Yeah. When I was in college, I used Photoshop for designing graphics because I was doing games in my college. I had a module to design games, and I remember I was using Flash, Adobe Flash, to design games because I could either design on Flash or I could design for Xbox. So I had a choice, but I choose Flash because I was more familiar with Flash than with Xbox programming stuff. I didn't even know what language was used to program on Xbox. Still don't know because I don't remember even. I think I asked, but I don't remember which language was used to program on Xbox. I think it was not Visual Basic, but Visual Studios. It's one of them. Don't know if it was. I don't think it was Visual Basic. It was. I don't know. Maybe C, C++. I don't know. Maybe C#. It might be C#. Might have been C#. So yeah, I could choose to design on Xbox, games for Xbox, and one of the groups actually did a game for Xbox. Obviously 2D game, nothing major. It was a space game. You had a spaceship, and you were shooting down asteroids or aliens. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, they did it, and you know the graphic was shit. Obviously, they're not professionals, but they did it. So you could just take a what was it? You could take a Xbox controller because it was 360. There was no Xbox One. There was no Xbox One over there back then. And you know, you took 360 controller, hook it up to your computer, and you could play the game pretty much like on Xbox. Obviously it was shit, but they still got full marks of it because of it, because they actually created it and it was working. It had some probably bugs and stuff like that, but you know, it was college. And I remember I created a game which was a like Mortal Kombat, that type of game. I didn't actually draw my own sprites. I just took them from the internet because I thought I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna design sprites in every move because I wasn't bothered to do it. So I just found some kind of from Street Fighter. Yeah, that's the one I think. So I found Street Fighter sprites, but 2D sprites, not 3D. So I found 2D sprites on the internet, like the full list, not list, but like pictures, with all the moves and stuff like this, progressing, because it was progression animation. So I didn't manipulate anything, I just changed pictures. That's how progressive animation, or I don't know, picture animation you could call it, works. So basically you change pictures and each picture has a slight difference. So for example, when you walk, the walking animation, if you want to do walking animations on pictures, you have to design the pictures in such a way that each step has well, that's a wrong wording. So each picture has a different step of the walking process, and the changes cannot be too big as well. For example, I don't know, lifting a leg and then extending it forward and then putting it down and then moving the back leg and so on. And that's how you do it with pictures. And then when you play the pictures on loop, it will look like it's walking. That's the old way of animating stuff. Now they don't really do that. They just pretty much animate everything. They set points or flags where to move the hand and stuff like this. It's much more complicated now. But that's the easiest way to animate something. You use loads of pictures and simply create sprites, and those sprites animate themselves. So that's what I did, pretty much. The walking, the attacking animation and so on. But I know I had some bugs in there as well. As in, you couldn't... it was working weirdly. I mean, it was working. You could fight and so on. There was a timer and so on. I mean, counter for the scores. Enemies, 2 different types. I remember I was reading and watching Bleach. It's a manga and anime back then. So I inserted a sprite from Bleach as well for the enemies. So I put that. I've designed one enemy because I was asked in the coursework, because it was a coursework actually. So it was assignment. I was asked to create one enemy myself. So I created like a glowing, I don't know, rectangle thing or squared box flying somewhere. That's it. I didn't have to create something great, you just have to create something myself, and that's pretty much that. So I did. It was just basically rotating on its axis like a flying square that rotates on its axis and just flies towards you like, I don't know, someone threw a brick at you or something like that. And it was glowing. So that was my pretty much game. And I did different games because I did this one. But that was action game, which was the most bugged. But I also did more of a puzzle games and stuff like that. So, all in Flash. And it's weird how you program games in Flash, because you actually stop at certain section and then you move back and forward with the time scale. So it's kind of weird how you program that. I don't remember how to program on Flash anymore. I mean, it was 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah, something like that, 6 or 7 years. So that's a long time ago, and I never programmed on Flash anymore again after that. I mean, I used Photoshop. I used Photoshop to, with my friend, we created lightning and stuff like this. Lightning effects, mostly. Because he showed me Photoshop made like posters and stuff like this with, what was it? Star Wars. And there was loads of lightning, like, you know, the lightning from the fingers and the force shit and stuff like that. And I kind of like the visuals of it. I like the style of it. So I was creating those lightning effects to add to everything. So I add the lightning effect to letters, to, I don't know, whatever I could add lightning effects. I did add lightning effects. So that was like my specialty in Photoshop when I was creating stuff. And I was pretty much doing those lightning effects and adding them. For example, I would take a sword, let's say, and just normal sword, and just wrap lightning around it, something like that, for fun. Obviously, I wasn't doing it for my coursework or for my university or for my college. I was just doing it for fun. I wasn't publishing it. I was just doing it for myself, right, basically. And it was one of the easiest things to do, actually, lightning, because it just make clouds on the empty screen. You pretty much have to color it with black and white, I believe it was. Then you basically add the clouds. Then you render it some way. I just don't remember anymore. It was so many years ago. But yeah, I know you had to render it, then you had to sharpen it or something like that. Then you can color it and extract something out of it, because you could extract a single, let's say, a single lightning bolt, let's say, or not bolt, but strike this thing. And you could add it to whatever you want. And then they started to do the animation or actually After Effects, so you could animate the lightning. But I never did After Effects. never actually delved into Adobe After Effects. I don't know why. I wasn't bothered to do it. But yeah, I don't have that much experience with graphics. As I always said that I don't want to be a graphic designer or anything like that, because it's just not for me. I don't see myself sitting in front of a computer for 10 hours just drawing one shit, and you know, it's never ending. The same with the game, and especially with my character, you know, because I always tend to try and make something better and better. So if you have this kind of, you know, character, if you have this kind of way of living, you want to make something better and better, like I do with my game. So I add stuff constantly to it. Although I should finish, it's already good, even for my standards. But I still add this and add that and add this and add that, and you know, it's just constant ideas pouring into me to add something. And that's why I didn't want to be a graphic designer, because I could just sit on one character, for example, for 10 years, and I could just improve it all the time, because I can change that, or I can change that, and so on, and just work on it all the time, which was pointless to me. Or maybe I could do it differently or something like that. It's just and it's time consuming, you know, just creating one character takes so much time.
We're all done in Castelletto. Head on up to the hub when you move on, and we'll start the next trip.
That's why I don't do graphic design. I mean, I did for my channel, for my Twitter, for my Twitch. I did that myself. I never asked anyone to do graphics for that, because it's not that, it doesn't have to be very professional. I mean, I've added some type of graphic. Well, I spent on it a day or even more, because I did spend on it. Oh shit! I did spend some time on it. It's not like I put some stuff in there in 10 minutes and didn't give a shit. I did spend loads of time actually on those designs, those graphics. First of all, you had to come up with design, and then you had to just do something with it. But yeah, when you have that in mind, it's quite easier, because you know what you do. At the same time, you know, it's not that professional. I mean, people do a lot better graphic, but it's my graphic. It's my own poster. It's my own logo. No, logo is not my own, actually. The hand with the Xbox controller is not my logo, it's a Xbox logo, which I borrowed to make a banner on Twitch. On Twitter I did as well, and not borrow it, but I did my own banner as well. And I'm kind of happy with them, you know, it's not like they're shit. To me they look fine, I like them, so... Seriously? I'll choose a different car this time, because I want to check which car is better, whenever this one is better or the other one. I know I use both.
Hey, did you guys hear the crowd roaring in that last race? You really put on a show. Now the next leg of the road trip takes us to beautiful Montelino.
Christmas is coming. That's for sure. Oh, it's not far away actually. Today we have 11th, I believe. Or 12th? December? Something like that. I don't actually remember, because I was playing Sims 3 yesterday. And I don't really know, because I checked the time over there and I don't know. Now I'm confused. Which day it is today? I know it's Sunday, but I don't know the number. I think it's either 11 or maybe even... No, it's not 10. It's either 11 or 12. of December.
100 meters, turn right.
2 more weeks and we have Christmas. And then New Year.
Turn right. Turn left.
So that's something to look forward to. For some people at least. I mean, I'll probably eat a lot and won't be able to move myself whatsoever. That's what happens when you have Christmas, right? Especially with family. If you have big family and all of them come together,
Right.
yeah. And all of them come together and there's like a banquet of some sort.
Turn right.
You know, the
100 meters.
feast, basically. Christmas. Fuck off, for fuck's sake, this dude. And I was looking at this car. I mean, this fucking game is annoying when it comes to those driver tires. They fucking block you all the time. And they have 10 times faster cars than I do, some of them. And they still choose to drive in front of me and just stop. And I don't understand this guy. Why did he have to actually drive in front of me? I just don't understand those type of AIs.
Turn left.
Left. Oh, here. Yeah, I know. Okay. Oh my god. Wait a minute. Seriously, the design of those headphones from Xbox is shit. I don't know who designed this shit, but it's shit. First of all, who gives you one... it's speaker basically. Who gives you one speaker and the other thing is like a fucking shit? It just falls off your head. It doesn't even stay properly on your head. I don't know where I'm going over there, okay. Cheaters.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Obviously there is a fucking pole over here. I couldn't see it. Anyway, Christmas, then New Year, and then the year starts again. Oh, by the way, I have to, after the stream, I have to go wash my bike. Check this out. I actually washed it last week. I washed my bike last week, right? And 2 or maybe 3 days later, it was already dirty as shit. Like I was going off-road with it, basically. And it wasn't even raining. It was just... It was raining, but not when I was riding it. And all the shit from the road just... And it's white. So it's dirty as fuck, this. Now I have to wash it. I have Sunday and it's good weather. Because tomorrow I will use it, obviously. So... I'm gonna wash it and hopefully this time it will last longer than a fucking 3 days. I hate it when the front of it, not just the front, even my shoes were fucking dirty. I had to wash them. And it wasn't raining, it was just wet. But it was just dirty as fuck. So I have to go wash it again. So that's 1 hour maybe out of my schedule already. I have to do that. Probably will have to lube the chain as well, because I washed it last time, didn't lube it because it was fine from what I checked. So I probably have to lube it this time. So I'll have to clean the chain and then lube it. And that's pretty much that. Don't have to do anything else for now. Come on, turn, you piece of shit. Obviously they had to give this shit over here. It's like they couldn't do it behind this barrier over there. I thought I would go visit my brother today, but I thought, nah, I don't want to. I don't give a shit, really. I'm just not bothered to, and I have to wash my bike. So I said, nah, I'm not going. I'm just too lazy to go today. Okay. I have a couple of new games on Xbox though. I renewed my Xbox Live, or basically Gold, and those fucking headphones are falling from my face basically. They just fall from my head. I'm not even moving, I'm just sitting there and talking and they just fall off. It's shit design, that's what it is. They're annoying. And I forgot what I was on about. Obviously this turn is shit, yeah. Ah, fuck it. I'll do it like that. Forgot how to do this turn there. Although I did sleep. Shit, let me just do this thing first. I don't know if you can hear me, but this way they won't fall at least. So I just put them on my neck instead of my head. So they won't be falling anymore. I don't know if you can hear me though. But I'll try to speak louder. They just fucking fall off my head. What the fuck, man? Who designs this type of shit? I don't know, and they just give it to you with Xbox. No wonder they just give it to you instead of you have to buy it separately. Like Kinect. How much money do I have? 5 million. Almost. I was talking last stream. I was talking with my friend actually about Forza Horizon 3. He said there's loads of improvements, so I'm kind of tempted to buy it, but I'm not sure yet because first of all I don't have time. Once a week to play a game, to pay I don't know 40 quid for a game to play it once a week or something like that. That's just not gonna happen. But at the same time, you know, if I wait a bit, it will go down in costs, so... I mean, I'm not that bothered to... Or bothered, actually. I'm not that... how the fuck do you say that? Concerned that... about the games that I don't play or do play. I mean, even if I like a game, I don't have to get it straight away. As long as I play it, and that's fine by me. I don't have to pay top price for it just to play it. I don't have that kind of mindset. Some people do. I mean, loads. Because if you look at who pre-orders and stuff like this, those games, it's just loads of people. And that's what I'm saying, you know, it's... I I don't have to, you have to have this type of, you know, mindset, because if you wait 2 months, even just simple 2 months, then it will be a lot cheaper, this game already, because the whole hype will be dead and it won't be a new game. So you already save some money over there, and if you wait half a year, if you can, then it will be a lot cheaper. Or you can just buy it used, and then it will be even cheaper than new. So you will be half price, let's say, than what you used to be. And if you think it that way, then you can get 2 games for the price of 1. Although later, but you still get 2 games for the price of 1. And what's the point of, you know, spending top cash for game when you finish it and that's it? You won't play it anymore, probably. And even if you do, you won't play it as much as you did for the first time, because there are not many games that you play many times after you finished it, or after you played enough. There are some, but mostly those involve storylines. This one is just for fun. Maybe you'll turn it on after you know you finished it. I don't know, played 20 days, not 20 days, but 2 days. Fucking hell. If you played 2 days, for example, and you pass loads of shit in the game, then perhaps you'll turn it on once in a while just to play some racing game. That's pretty much it. But it will sit on your shelf or whatever, or you have it in your library on Xbox if you buy a digital version, and that's it. That's pretty much what happens with my games. I don't really play them again, especially if they're not that interesting. So imagine if you pay, for example, £30 or something like this, or $50, something like that, let's say, for a game, then you play it. I mean, it's not, you know, not worth it, for example, but then you play it once, finish it, let's say, but then it sits on your, I don't know, shelf, or sits in your Xbox library just doing nothing, because you don't want to play it again because you passed it already and you have different games to play. So wouldn't it be better to actually wait a bit, pay less for this game, because it will still sit on your shelf or whatever, and have more money for another game, then just buy it sooner, and you know, you still play the game. I mean, in my opinion, you still play the game. It doesn't really matter to me if I play it 1 month later or half a year later. I still played the game, I still enjoyed it, right? And that's the problem with the society today. They have to have the latest stuff, which I don't get really, because it's you have to have latest phone. Why? I mean, phones from 2 years ago don't work already, or something like that. I don't know. I have Xperia, which is I don't know when they released it, but it's at least 2 years old, and I own it for 1 year, over 1 year, I think. And I don't see the reason I should update to, I don't know, the latest phone, because it works perfectly fine. It has email, it can call, I can call from it, I can send messages, I can send pictures, I can do pictures if I want to. They're quite good images. I don't need better on my phone. If I want better images, I can just buy camera, right? And I just don't get this type of mindset of people that buy stuff that just comes out. I just don't understand, because they're paying top price for it when they can save. It's just, I call it like a zombie consumer, because they just go with the herd. They just brainless, buying stuff because it's advertised or something like that, not because they like it. Most people now, they don't buy stuff because they like it. They buy stuff because it's advertised. That's how community is fucked right now. They buy stuff because it's advertised, because the advertisers will tell you you need it, and you will buy it because you need it, because they tell you you need it, although you probably don't need it. And that's the problem with the society today. People are compulsive consumers. They have to buy stuff. And if you don't have that kind of mindset, you don't have, you know, debts, you don't have problems with money. I don't have problems with money because I'm not, compulsive consumer. I don't have to buy stuff. Besides the stuff I really need to use, like food, I don't know, stationery stuff, for example, toilet papers, something like that. I have to use that, so I have to buy it. A washing powder or something like that, I have to buy that. Obviously, everyone has. Pay the bills. That's what I have to do. But otherwise, I don't have to buy this game right now. I can wait, for example, half a year or even a year if I want to, and buy it for dirt cheap money, you know. It's just for pebbles, for nothing. And it's still the same game, you know. It's not like because I buy it for, let's say, 10 quid, I have less experience with the game than the person that bought it first for 50 quid. Hi there, how are you? And that's what I'm talking about, you know. I just don't have that kind of mindset to buy everything. And people do. It's just this type of, you know, I don't know. People are learning or are taught to buy everything. And you see people, if you go to a shopping mall, if you go to a shop, people, if you watch people, you notice what type of shit they're buying that you would never need in your life. And I can guarantee you would never need, because you would just chuck it into a cupboard or whatever, into a shelf, and it will stay there for the rest of its life until someone breaks it or you throw it away. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm playing Forza, relaxing a bit, talking about stuff which I don't understand. But yeah, people should blame it on advertisers. I mean, they should be banned, this type of adverts. Especially if you go to new games adverts, right? Let's say there is a game coming out and they make an advert on television, for example, right? Or internet, whatever. But it's a movie. It's like a video. And I'm just finishing the what was it? Not challenges. Shit, what was it called? Championships. I'm just doing the championships. I don't really intend to play multiplayer in this game whatsoever anymore. As I said, because I did pretty much everything in this game, and I just wanted to finish all the championships in the game. And that's it. I won't play this game pretty much anymore. Maybe just sometimes to play a racing game, that's pretty much that, but not as in play it for a long time. So I won't be playing multiplayer whatsoever. I'm just doing championships, and this stream will be about championships pretty much. As always, really, because I just want to finish them. There's 168 of them. I want to finish them all, and that's it. I can be done with this game. I can uninstall it so that it doesn't take space from me. And be done with it finally, and move on to different game. So I can play something different. That's pretty much my plan for this game.
Alright, another win.
What time is it anyway? 1 o'clock, almost.
Level down.
Yeah, that's the last race here. But yeah, I don't really get people who need to buy, I know, latest stuff. And it's not like, you know, people have money for it. Some people don't have and they still buy it. That's the problem. That's why people have debt. I mean, how do you get debt? Like 10 or 20,000 pounds, let's say, debt. I don't know. And you don't spend it on food, let's say, or I don't know, housing or whatever, right? How can you get that kind of debt? Go to internet and watch some TV documentaries about people spending and how they have debt. And it will show you it's because of marketing, it's because of, you know, consuming. It's because they're just compulsive consumers. They have to buy. And because of that, they just max out their credit card and they pretty much pay the credit card for the rest of their lives. That's why I don't have credit card. Because I don't have a credit card. I don't need it. Why would I need a credit card? If you have a stable job, if you have income, why the fuck do you need credit card? It's like people say it's good to have it just in case. No, it's good not to have it just in case. It's good to have some kind of, I don't know, restraint on what you buy. If you lose a job, you don't sit around in your fucking house lamenting about losing a job, you search for another one. It's that simple. If you cannot find a job in your own profession, then you search for a job which will give you some kind of, I don't know, money just to live. And some people don't seem to understand that. If I were to lose my job right now, I wouldn't sit in front of Xbox whole day and night and apply for fucking credit card or something so that I can live. And I'll just lament over, you know, oh, I don't have a job and I don't have money, I have to, you know, search for my job, there is no more job for me or whatever, right? I wouldn't sit and complain about shit in front of a computer or Xbox or at home, because it doesn't solve anything. You just have to go out and find a job. It doesn't matter if it's a job from your profession, it can be a different one. Even go to fucking McDonald's, work, and that's it. You have at least a job. And then when you have a job, you have some income, you can fucking look for your job, which you lost first time, and try to find another. And that's, I don't know why people think it's such a fucking mystery to do this. I mean, I'm not saying it's easier to find a job, because it's not. Especially in profession, especially if you go out of university, it's very hard to find a job. If you don't have any type of, you know, connections, anything like that, it's very hard to find a job. There's lots of people who want the same job as you want. So it's hard to find a job. But it's not impossible because people find them. So you just have to have patience. And in the meantime, you don't sit around at home playing Xbox games. You have to actually work. At least some kind of job that will give you profits. And that's what people don't do. They just sit around, they try to get benefits from the government, and they say, yeah, well, yeah, I just don't have money. Shit, no! No shit, Sherlock! And especially when they buy shit like, I don't know, stuff they don't need. I know some people actually, I knew some people who didn't have a job, they lived with their parents, right? So they don't have income, they live with their parents, and their parents even bought them games for consoles, for PC, and they would just sit every day, they were just sitting all the time on computer, on console, and, you know, playing games, doing nothing, doing shit, pretty much. And they want to tell me that they cannot find a job. How do you want to find a job when you play the whole fucking day? You play just games every day. That's one thing. Another thing, you just rely on your parents and you don't give a shit. They have to buy you everything. You are not independent. How can you find something? How can you live you know, by yourself later on if you're not trying to be independent? I'm not saying, you know, move out of your parents' house or something like this. Sometimes you can, because sometimes it's easier, and I know a couple of people who do this. Although they work, they help out their parents, they pay for the house with them. So it's like they're living there for free. They're actually paying. It's just that, you know, in London, the rent prices are very high. So even if you if you earn some kind of wages, But if you earn the minimal wages that are guaranteed in this country, it doesn't mean you can just live in a house rented and just live normally, because you won't have money for that. And it's true, because London is very
All right,
expensive.
that's it for now in Montalino.
People live with their parents.
And we'll to the next destination.
Just because it's cheaper to live that way. They, for example, single. If you are single and you work and you want to live by yourself, it's fucking expensive in London. Outside London, you know, in villages and stuff like this, it's much easier. But inside London, it's very expensive. You won't be able to do it. Or you will, but you have to, you know, live very frugally.
In 400 meters.
So you have to have very frugal lifestyle. So you cannot buy shit like some people do. Well, you have to save on everything pretty much. No entertainment whatsoever. Your entertainment would be TV or computer if you have one.
Arrived at your destination.
All right, our champs made the decision. This road trip is heading to San Giovanni.
So that's what I'm saying. People are brainwashed, basically. The society is brainwashed. That's why you don't get people like I am.
That was some top driving today.
To find a guy that is similar to me is very hard today.
Now the next stage is taking us to San
Some people may
Giovanni.
say that, some people may, you know, disagree with me, but I would call their bullshit because it's just the way it is. I've seen society at its best and its worst because I like to study human nature, let's call it like that. I like to look what people are up to. It's not something, you know, I watch people when they drink coffee or whatever. I'm not stalking people. I just like to watch their behavior because I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting how people behave in certain situations.
At the roundabout.
I'm not a psychologist. I don't have any type of degree or anything in psychology or psychiatry or whatever. I don't have any type of training in it. It's just that based on my own experiences and what I saw.
In 400 meters.
I can tell that society is brainwashed with adverts. Everywhere you go, there's adverts. So I don't really look at adverts. When I want to buy something, I go to reviews. I go to different reviews. When I bought a camera for my bike, I didn't go to the shop and buy a camera which was the most heavily advertised. I went to internet. I checked a couple of reviews. I checked like 20 or 30 cameras, different ones. I checked GoPros, different kind of GoPros. I checked those Ion Pros, which I have. I checked cameras which are like not fake cameras, but cheaper cameras. The names which you probably don't know. I checked them, maybe they're any good, and so on.
Turn left.
Because I didn't want to spend loads of shit money to buy a camera. So I didn't aim for cameras that are, I don't know, £300 or something like that. Because I just don't need that kind of camera. I checked Sony cameras, I checked, what was it? Drift cameras. So I checked loads of cameras. And I took educated, not guess, but I just took educated choice.
This is the modern championship. Choose a race championship.
So I took educated choice on which camera is the best for me. And the cheapest
200 meters.
as well. So I was actually either going to buy
Turn right.
Sony camera, which is AS or ASJ, something, I don't remember. It was AS perhaps. So it was a Sony camera, either or this Ion Pro, Air Pro, or
You have arrived at your destination.
or some cameras that are like a Chinese or something like that. So some of them, because some of them are good. To what I want to use them, they're good. So I was checking the prices. The Sony was too expensive, and there was no mounting that I liked. And finally, I bought Iron Air Pro 3 because it has external mic, which I wanted in the camera. Sony has the external mic as well, and some other cameras had that as well, the less known companies. But I chose this one because it was, well, cheaper, because it costed me £100 and normally it costs 150, 145 I believe. So I saved a lot as well. And I wanted to buy it anyway. I mean, I wanted to buy a camera anyway. So even if it's bullshit, it didn't cost 145 pounds, then I would still buy it for 100. I think it's worth it. This price is not bad for the camera I'm getting. It has 1080p 60 frames. That's the best it can do. So that's not bad, I'd say. It has a tripod, tripod, yeah, that's the one. Tripod mount with a tripod. So I got the tripod. I can just, I don't know, vlog with it or whatever on the tripod. And I had to actually buy a mounting kit. The mounts were available. I just had to buy a mounting kit because there was no L-shaped mount. It was just a straight mount, and I want an L-shape, but I couldn't buy it separately, so I had to buy the whole mounting kit. But that's good as well, because I have a couple of helmets, so I can mount a couple of helmets. Depending on which I want to use, I can just mount them and change the camera to another helmet. And it's that simple. So the mounting kit was not waste of money, actually. And it costed me 20 quid. Also have some spares for the mounting, so if something breaks or something, I can just change that, because I have. Replacement parts. So that's what I'm saying, you know, it was worth it. And I'm happy with the camera. I used it a couple of times and I'm happy with it. I mean, the battery life is 2.5 hours. If I use it on lower setting, let's say 720p 60, then the battery life will be at least 2.5 hours. So that's not bad, in my opinion. Comparing to others, 2 hours and stuff like this. It has Wi-Fi, so I can stream from on my phone. I can live stream. Shit. This is bullshit. So I can live stream. I can set up my camera, so I can check the angle. The only, I think, drawback of it is that the lens is not rotatable, so you cannot rotate the lens. But you can rotate the mount in any way you like. So you can still set it up properly. You can see the horizon straight. And it's a nice camera. And it's a bullet shaped, so it's even better, because I don't want a fucking brick next to my head. I just don't like that. And it's much more subtle in its look. So I would recommend, the Iron camera. Iron camera is not bad. For the money I paid, I mean, £100 for that kind of camera is not bad. With Wi-Fi, with 1080p 60 frames per second, ENTS. And I would recommend it for £100. That's a good camera. The mounting is good. I mean, it's not shit mounting. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's okay. It's good.
In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left.
And if you don't have a specific mount, you can buy it from the website. So there's lots of mounts available. You can mount it on your helmet, on your bike, whatever you want. So I would recommend actually Ion Air Pro 3. That's the one I have. So I would recommend that because it has Wi-Fi. So for some people that's important. For me, it's not really important. I just need it for setting up the angle, and that's it. I don't need Wi-Fi anymore. Because if it had some sort of lens calibration, then I could just set it up with that to rotate the lens however I like. But it doesn't, so it has Wi-Fi and I can set it up, no problem. So I don't have problem with that. They added Wi-Fi. There is an external mic. There's a high HDMI connection. You can connect it to your TV or whatever monitor. You can watch straight from the camera. As I said, there's Wi-Fi, so you can stream to your phone. You can watch on your phone all the stuff that is on the camera. All the pictures, all the videos, you can watch that. Obviously the quality will be shit because it's Wi-Fi. But at the same time, you know, it's fine for what it is. And it has this feature. And it's only £100. It's made from metal, not plastic. So it's much more sturdy. The lens is glass, I believe, and it's you can replace it. You can probably get parts and replace the lens if you scratch it, so that's good. And there is a GoPro for £100 as well. There is a GoPro, I don't know, it's just GoPro something Hero, and that's it. Just the basic camera from GoPro, the cheapest one. And it's shit. It's worse than this one. It doesn't have external mic. It doesn't come out from the casing. So it's embedded in the casing. So you cannot take it out. There is no Wi-Fi as far as I'm aware. It has worse quality of video because it does not record in 1080p 60 frames, only in 30 frames, and it doesn't have 720p 120 7p20 120 frames. So you have on Ion Air Pro 3, you have the 720p 120 frames. So it's a very smooth video this way, because you have a lot of frames in it. And although yeah, it's probably comparable to 60 P80 P1 1080p. It's probably comparable to 1080p 60. Probably could be less, I mean worse. But it's comparable, and you know, it doesn't have that, the GoPro, the cheapest one, which is £100, it doesn't have that. And it doesn't have a mount which you can mount on your helmet properly. You have to do some kind of bullshit thing. Connectors and stuff, and I don't know, and I don't want to, I mean, I don't want to have a camera that sticks out at top of my helmet. I have to have it on the side. On the front I cannot really have it, because on the front you have a ventilation vents, you have vents and stuff like this, so you cannot really, it depends on your helmet. I have a such one that you cannot really do it, because I have flip face, so there is no way to put even the camera over there. But you know, on the side it looks the best, in my opinion. On the top of the head, especially the it looks like a fucking Teletubby. Seriously. I don't want to ride like a fucking Teletubby. I don't know why people put it on top of their helmets. It just looks like a fucking Teletubby. Just not my style. That's the last one. That's the last one. Championship. Let me drink something. Shit! Don't fall. But for fuck's sake, can you just stay in one place? If not the headphones falling down, then the controller is falling down. I put it on my leg and it just falls down. I don't even move. Annoying. Annoying shit. So that's what I'm saying. I always get wind up in this type of shit when I'm doing streams right now. Lately, basically. But it's seriously, I mean, are people blind or something with those adverts, with all the stuff? Are they blind? Are they so gullible that they believe everything they're told? And when they should believe something, which is very important, they don't. They decide it's bullshit. I mean, that's just brainwashed. That's... Conspiracy theories everywhere now. You cannot open the door to your house and see someone that is not a conspiracy theory. Something that is not a conspiracy theory. Jehovah's Witnesses are, you know, you open the door, there's Jehovah's Witness, and you would say it's a conspiracy theory today. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, everything is conspiracy theory, right? But as one person said very properly, not everyone that rings your doorbell is a murderer. Is a murderer or a psychopath. Not everyone that comes to your door is a psychopath or murderer. And it's true. I mean, there are people who are murderers, there are people who are psychopaths, but not everyone is, right? Not everyone who, you know, rings your bell to your door is a bad person. It doesn't mean everything that government, for example, does is a conspiracy. I mean, yeah, obviously there are, you know, some sort of shady deals and stuff like this. I mean, it's obvious. You don't have to believe in some sort of conspiracy theories to know, at least know, that there are shady businesses going on in every government. And it's normal. I mean, that's what government does. It does shady businesses. I don't know why people are surprised that they found out that someone from the government does a shady business, not paying taxes or whatever. It's fucking everyday life for them. There is no such thing as, you know, truthful or honest politician. It's just not existent. Like George Carlin said, if you take the honesty and you put it into the political system, then the system would collapse. And that's true, because they have to lie to you. For example, when you choose your president, right? They will always promise you something. But when was there any time? I don't know. I'm not following the politics. But was there any time that the politicians actually delivered on their promise? And if so, did they take anything out of other people's pocket, or did they do something else worse? Even though they delivered, for example, the promise, but something worse happened because they had to deliver the promise. And mostly they don't deliver the promise. For example, smaller taxes or whatever, right? It's bullshit. You will pay higher taxes every year. And why is that? Inflation.
Turn left.
Actually, you earn less than you earned in the past if you're working. Because of inflation. So now you are working for less. Although they increase the national wages, the minimum wages, which are national, obviously, not in just one city or you know, one country. There are national wages, which are the lowest wages you can get legally. When they legally employ you, they have to give you minimum wage. Otherwise, you can just put them to the court. They don't give you minimum wage because that's using of personnel. That's just basically use of someone, abusing someone. So they, even in McDonald's, they give you a minimum wage. Obviously, they will take away the tax from it, which is, I don't remember what was the minimum wage, 7 something. But that depends on your age as well. How old are you? So from 25 years old, you have the highest minimum wage, and from 21 to 24 years old, you have the middle one, I believe, something like that. But it was about £8 an hour, the highest minimum wage you can get when you are 25 or over. So this is what you get, pretty much. Now that's pretty much the wage, £8 per hour. And minus that, depends on where you work, and subtract from that the tax. Sometimes you have to subtract 20% tax, depends, as I said, on where you work, and sometimes less if you are employed, because there is, in this country, you are self-employed as well. Self-employed people subtract 20% of the amount for tax, so you pay 20% tax from that amount. For everything you earn, 20% is tax. And later on, depends on how much you earn, they may return the tax to you. Because if you, I think in this country it was 10 or 11,000 tax-free. So if you, in a year, if you earn 10 or 11,000 pounds, that's tax-free, and if you pay the tax, they will return all the tax to you. So that's the tax-free amount. So if you earn that much, you don't pay any tax. You have to, you'll get returned, basically. So they will return the tax you paid, if you paid. If you earned less than 11 or 10,000 pounds, something like that. But over that, there's already a tax, so they will return according to how much you earn. For example, less than 20, I think they take about 7 or 10 or something like that. I don't know. Something like that. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock, after 1 o'clock already, probably. Let's see. Yep. 1:30 almost.
Okay, that's this road trip. If you, let's head back to the festival. The awards party.
Okay, let's head to the festival and finish the stream as well.
In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left.
I did sleep today quite well, but I'm still yawning for some reason. Anyway, let's go back to the festival and finish the stream.
In 400 meters, bear left.
So as I said, I gave you the updates about the game. I gave you the updates on whatever I could think of. I'm sure there will be a demo version before the end of this year, although the second chapter will not be finished. I already can see that, because it's just too much stuff. And it's already 11th or 10th today. It's 11th probably. So I won't be able to finish that. It's just impossible. And also, I'll go not finish. I'll go visit my family and stuff like this at Christmas, so that couple of days off. So I won't be able to do anything with the game. New Year, I'll probably won't be doing anything with the game because why would I? It's a new year. But I may do one more stream in this month. Maybe not next week, but we will see. But yeah, anyway, I'm on the good track to finish the second chapter, and when I'm done with it, I will have only 2 more locations to finish on the third chapter. Although one very big one, with loads of NPCs. But you know, it's one place, so it's much easier to finish it. Because I will just be stuck in one place, not going all over the map again. So that's good. And then the fourth chapter, which will be pretty much longer, a lot longer than both third and second, because it will be pretty much new map and a lot bigger as well. I can say that because you don't know how the map will look like. You don't even know how the map looks like now, probably. I did post on Twitter.
Take the second exit.
Straight. I post on Twitter not half, but part of the map, which will be for the first chapter. Some of it, not all of it, but some of it. Some of the map. Shit. So, if you want to see it, you go to my Twitter and it should be there, the picture of the map. I mean, it's part of it, and it's a small one. This one, till the third chapter will have very small map. It will be quite small. But the fourth chapter and the fifth chapter will have very large map. So there will be a lot more walking and stuff like that. And a lot more locations.
In 400 meters, turn right.
3. And they're stopping because I hit something. They stop and they're gonna wait for me. I don't know why. They're just gonna wait, and then they're gonna block me. Oh yes, 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 yes.
Left.
Yeah, I was going to this tree anyway. Okay. I'm tired of this game as well.
400 meters, turn right.
I mean, it's pointless. Every 3 championships, I have to go to festival, and it's just pointless. I cannot quick travel. I have to ride it. I mean, it's boring as hell. I have to go there every time. What the fuck? What for? I'm already champion of the whole fucking thing 10, 20 times already. What's the point of me going there? I should be able to just choose the championships all the time. But no, they want me to go back and waste like 5 minutes of my life
Now it's time to
for pointless exercise.
for tomorrow's road trip.
Okay. Right.
One of our
Yeah, that's pretty much that.
drivers is in the area.
For the stream,
If you'd like to
and for the updates, and for the topics. So, well, I don't know if you enjoyed the stream, but I hope you do. I hope you did. And as I said, next stream will be this month, but I don't know which day yet. So it probably won't be on weekdays because, well, I'm working, and then I have to do the game sometimes. Sometimes I want to relax, so I'm playing Sims 3. I'm playing Sims 3 because it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's relaxing, you know. You buy a pet or whatever, then you just kill it. Last time when I was playing, the kid I have was having a birthday party, and I told him to blow out the candles from the cake. The kid blew out the candles, and the table caught on fire. It wasn't intentional; it just caught on fire, and he didn't actually, you know, change to another age. Or she actually, she didn't change to another age. Instead, the table got burned, and I told the other team to extinguish the fire. But the table got burned, and the cake got burned, so I had to buy another cake, really, and, you know, do it again. And when I checked the name of the cake, it was Infernal Cake, I believe. So a fitting name, actually, to start a fire with. I remember in Sims 2 and 1 and 2, I believe, yes, 1 and 2, or maybe 1 only, you could buy fireworks. And fireworks were the best way to burn something in the house. That was the best way to burn the house, basically. Fireworks. You just start the fireworks and something is gonna burn. You already know that, because Sims are idiots. You cannot give them anything that's something with fire, like oven. If you give them oven and you don't fireproof it, there is bound to be fire. There is just bound to be fire, and something's gonna burn. I mean, I never had a situation where I bought an oven and the sim was cooking and didn't start a fire. Sometimes, because I leave a high free will, so they have free will, whatever, you know, they can do whatever they want. Although I tell them what to do, they just have free will, because sometimes they're hungry and I have two sims, for example. So one of them is hungry and I'm just doing something with the other one. So the other one will just go and eat something on its own, instead of me telling him or her to go and eat, because that's pointless. But it's sometimes annoying as well, because they do stuff you don't want them to do. For example, with dogs, that's fucking annoying. You don't want him to run around, and the dog just goes and runs around on its own. I had a dog, but it died. What I plan to do in this one is, well, basically, you can get if you have loads of points. What was the points called? I don't remember. Lifetime rewards. When you have to have those points. Lifetime points. I don't remember how they called. It's on the back of my head. But when you get 75,000 of those points, you can get Young Again potion. And what I plan to do is basically get that. I already have that potion, but I plan to do it because I choose a lifetime wish for the sim I created. I choose lifetime wish to reach a level 5 of 4 different careers, 4 different jobs. So she has to reach level 5 of 4 different jobs to get that lifetime wish. And her lifetime is coming to an end pretty much, because she's gonna be a grandma soon. She has a child, So I figure out I will do one job per generation. So when her kids die, I'll do. I'll change the job. I'll change the house. I'll just. It's like, you know, she will be immortal due to the potion, and every time her relatives and everyone dies, I'll basically change the house and move out and you know, get her young again
You have arrived.
and start, you know, and start new job and new family and so on. She'll be immortal basically, you know. That's what I plan to do with her. And obviously I'm not gonna get married. I just make a child. I just tell her, you know, whatever guy there is, I just meet the guy, tell her to fuck him, and then make a child, and that's it, and kick the guy out of the house. Pretty much that's what I do. But there's lots of shit you can do with them. You can build dungeons, you know, basement to torture people or something like that. You can build your sim and torture them, as in, you know, buy a fridge and then build 10 pools so she can, or he has to swim to the fridge to get some food. You can just torture them whatever you like. You do whatever you like, you know. Burn everything and then don't buy anything, so they have to sleep on the floor or whatever. You can just do many things with, and it's funny because you wouldn't do it in real life. Hopefully you wouldn't do it in real life. But in the game you can do it, you know. Everyone in Sims games, at least most of people, are psychopaths. And that's true, because you can. And you do it. I mean, even if someone tells you, no, I never did, you know, torment my Sims. Bullshit, you did probably. 99.9% people did. And some people, I'm happy to tell you about this. I'm happy to tell you about that. About it. I tormented Sims in the game, because it's fun to torment them. I mean, they're just so stupid. You have to sometimes torment them, or take the neighbors and close them in a room without any type of windows or
At your destination.
doors, so they cannot go out, with a roof. No, what was it? And at the pool over there as well. So you had the pool. That was the best. That was the best way to get rid of the neighbors. You have the pool. You close it, and then you not throw in, but you invite people to that room, and then just delete all the windows and all the doors, and that's it. And just leave them there. That's the best way to get rid of your neighbors. I did that in Sims 1. Sims 1, that was the probably only way you could kill your neighbors, pretty much. That was the pretty much only way you could kill your neighbors. Just trap them and starve them to death. Or you could just buy a firecracker, not firecracker, but fireworks, and shoot them inside the building. And just burn everything over there. Or you could cook a lot of stuff on the oven, add loads of ovens, and then cook a lot of stuff. And she would start a fire eventually on the oven and just burn herself. Or if you have cheats, you could delete death. Because there are some cheats to pick up objects, any objects in the game, and delete them, so you can pick up death and just delete it. So you cannot take you. So you live on. There's loads of shit you could do. Even in Sims 1. Right, I'm talking about bullshit right now, so I'm gonna finish the stream here. As I said, you can join me in my next stream, which will be this month probably, and I will probably continue to play Forza Horizon 2. And so I will just move on with 3 more championships, and I'll also update you about the demo version and stuff like this from my game, and stuff like this overall, and probably talk about some topics and stuff like that. maybe tell you more about Sims if I play more. What type of funny situations I had with them. Because sometimes, yeah, you just play normally and then you have funny situations with them. Sometimes you don't have to do anything. You just laugh at it because of the sheer game. And yeah, you can visit my Twitter. Although I don't post there right now because it's just I don't have anything to post really. I will start posting there when I have the demo version and stuff like this. I will post my game info and stuff like that. So you can do visit and follow me over there on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitch if you want to, so you'll know when my stream is on. That's always useful if you want to follow. And visit my website if you want. You'll find reviews over there. You will find the games I played in the past and what type of ratings I gave them, but also what type of games I finished, so maybe you can ask me questions if you want to. I mean, I'm not some type of expert on games, but when I play a game even once, I know, and I pass it, I know how to play the game, and I will pass it again without any problems, because I will remember it for the rest of my life really. That's how I have my memory. I remember every game I played, and I remember how to pass the game. When I play it, off top of my head, I may not remember, but when I start playing the game, I will know how to pass it. It's just, I don't know, like a photographic memory for the games. I don't have photographic memory for everything. But for some of the things, I have photographic memory, like. So I call it half a photographic memory, because, or very good memory, you can just call it. Because the stuff I want to remember, or I'm interested in, I remember very easily. So it's like a photographic memory. I can just read one stuff once and I will remember it for the rest of my life. But some of the things, even if I read it 10 times, I won't remember it. So I don't know how to call that, but yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. I hope you have fun. And that's pretty much that. Well, I cannot say anything else really. I've already talked for about 2 hours about many different things. So if you want to, you can watch this on YouTube in the future, because it will be on YouTube. If you are watching it on YouTube, welcome. But yes, this will be available on YouTube in 1 or 2 days. So you can watch it on Twitch as well for 14 days, and it will be available the whole stream on YouTube unedited. So if you want to watch the previous stuff I was talking about, you can watch it on Twitch, or you can watch it later on YouTube and see the whole stream and updates about my game, because they were at the beginning. So at the beginning you have updates on my game and me playing and topics, stuff like that. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time, and bye.